Dun, dun, dun. Got a pop out chat. Where did it go? Pop out chat. There you go. Ooh, let's see. Interesting. At least it's better than last week. I thought it's gonna close at 3:30. Did it? It closed like lower, right? 3:28. Yep. Still can battle along this line, huh? Interesting. Might as well just make it into a video at this point. So if we go and look at the general market condition, SPY, pullback for half, right? You see buying volume. Fascinating. Let's look at short volume. Ooh. Today's short volume. 650. Still, today's a very low volume day. I just don't even expect it to really go anywhere. This is just what it is at this point. Let's look at. Ooh, severely shorted. Yeah, everyone. Oh, you can look at VIX? You gotta be kidding me this year. In the morning, oh my god, tomorrow's gonna be so bad. A bunch of people bought weekly options. All of a sudden, they realized that overreacting. So I guess this morning I bought a spot, just a security VIX call. It's let's just see tomorrow. I don't think tomorrow's gonna be that bad. And then it's dragged down, and then probably tomorrow morning I'll see another spike. Because people are panicking, and the actual Fed meeting is not gonna be there until like later in the day. And for those of you who are laughing at me for doing this one, not really laughing at all, huh? Tomorrow depends. It's actually asset value is twice the amount of the market price. So yeah, not really worried at this point. Plus, if you think about it, this company is very big, right? And has a lot, like it has 2 million students, literally. I can show you guys the data. I have 2 million students. If you charge, and the average class costs more than $1,000, so if you do the math, that's a lot of money right there. Okay, it's a lot of money right there. And even though in terms of like the policy and everything, it seems like, what's everything? Have you followed Job at all? Ah ha ha, funny. Is that actual ticker? Why is everything so blurry? Let me see. I think now it's gonna be better. The stream, because I think the wedge, I think it's the internet. stream bitrate. I think it's a stream bitrate problem. I need to change that. Tomorrow it's gonna be changed. Right now I'm just focusing on using this, so on my video today is gonna be shorter. Have you followed job at all? Wait, let me finish this thought. So for this, you probably make more money than your actual market value right now. So there probably gonna be some investor coming in as long as the politics sort of dies down a little bit. But I mean, another thing that you guys have to sort of understand is it's a directive. It's not really a law yet. So the Chinese government haven't really implemented anything. It's just a like a preface of a crackdown, really. And what Kramer talks about, like you're still watching Kramer and listen to him talking about, oh my God, China is cracking down on U.S. companies. It's just let's just say his prediction of any stock is lower than 40%. So if you're still listening to Kramer's and then buy whatever he says to buy, yeah, you're bound to probably lose money. Have you been following Job at all? Let's look at Job. Since there are only guys, if don't buy anything lower than $1 unless you actually see any significant upside, because penny stock has an intrinsic risk. Maybe I should make a video about it. Basically, what it does is, like, have you ever watched Wolf of Wall Street? If you watched Wolf of Wall Street, you know that a lot of times how penny stock traders they make a lot of commission, even though right now that part of the market has been like sort of subpar fixed, but it's not. It's like the daily fluctuation and the risk and reward sort of is not really worth it. So I don't normally invest in anything lower than like $5, except for Meta. Meta is a very let's just say sometimes I also you think sometimes yeah, just stay away from penny stocks unless you know that maybe in the future it's gonna be over a certain price line. But for this one, I haven't done enough DD to really know what is going on. Dude, what's up? Can you tell me more about tomorrow being T+1 call for shorts as of 6:25 for meta materials? No, T+21 is really a myth, really. So don't worry about it. And tomorrow, I don't think tomorrow is purely depending on how good the Fed meeting is. Because if you want to pull out your capital, some people already did. So if tomorrow there's going to be a significant drop to 3.09, then probably going to be a pretty good buying point at that point, right? Or worst case, it go to 2.79, then very cheap, dirt cheap, even dirt cheaper than before. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advices. Everything I say on this channel is for shits and giggles. I mean, who's been spreading rumors about T+21 calls? There's no such thing as T+21 calls. It's just a monthly cycle. Plus, the monthly cycle is not there yet. The monthly cycle concludes and starts on the 30th. So, no. The quick answer is no. Oh. And I don't think Aura is here. AMC, as expected. Oof. Oof. ANC. Oof. Wow. Harsh reality there. Sorry to be sarcastic, but the all hold and buy thing, at least they have a new support at this point, but still just AMC. Look at GME. Ooh. Wow, get harshly rejected there. Anyways, might have a little small gap down tomorrow, but who knows. As for the OG meme stock. I'll do another 15-minute stream to answer questions, and then I'll make the video for today. Should be fairly interesting. Wow, George got a new HR manager. That means he's gonna start hiring people, huh? New HR manager. What happened to the old one? Good question. And if you go ahead and look at their LinkedIn, also need to do some LinkedIn stuff too. Where's Meta Materials? Let's see, R&D manager, okay, director, blah, blah, blah. See all employees. Let's go. I need to log in. Never mind then. We will make another DD about their people or whatever. And does a quiet period really exist? You want to know the truth? Not really. Especially for them, I don't think they even posted any financial related stuff on SEC. But in terms of like the before earning, they cannot disclose certain things. But a lot of the stuff that people have been digging up on YouTube or digging up on Reddit, they're all old stuff. So not really. But if I say no and Sterling says yes, you guys probably will believe him anyways. But in reality, the reason why he cannot disclose certain things is because of two-way NDAs, and he sort of have to honor the other side. George want the other bigger companies to sort of disclose. So, his logic is really interesting though. But if I were him, I probably won't do it this way. I probably have a good PR team and let the PR does whatever they're good at. But as far as all the hiring goes, George knows how to hire nerdy people, like very good tech people, and maybe HR people. But I don't think he's really good at hiring IR and PR team. So that's just my personal opinion at this point. Yeah, volume died down. Tomorrow, if it drops, you're gonna see a volume surge. If it doesn't drop, you can see a volume surge anyways. Wednesday is always gonna be the day. So, yeah, especially for this week. Let's see how it goes. I don't think J Powell's gonna say anything really hawkish or whatever. Let's look at the oil price. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Inflation is not going anywhere, so we have to adapt. The Fed itself have to adapt too, because even though by doing a lot of stuff they squashed on the oil price, and then by putting out false information about the OPEC meeting on the actual juicy part of the OPEC meeting, if you look at all of the media reports, they're just not really true about themselves. But anyways, big institutions have long positions on here. I mean, they have like long position anyways, which is very rational. Do you think today is the higher low confirmation for a uptrend? Good time to jump back in accumulate? No, at this point, until it reaches the 150 moving average, there's no such thing as an uptrend yet. So don't get too excited yet. Plus, the next option expiration is literally on the 20th. We have what? We have at least like 12 trading days left, maybe 16, maybe more than that. Too early to tell. Too early to tell. Good to see you back live. Yay! What is up? Yeah, I'm gonna do so this is gonna be like a very short session, and tomorrow morning it's gonna be a big session, and probably gonna make some posts and talk about it in the video. So for those of you who actively trade in the morning, you will be seeing me. around 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30, depending on the situation, because I gotta do some charting stuff before market opens anyways. So I will be live in the morning, probably live during power hours, because my liquidities are tight and a lot of your liquidities are not. So you guys can benefit off of my information, that kind of thing. But again, I'm not financial advisors. I do not give financial advices. Therefore, everything I say on this channel is for shits and giggles. And yeah, 10 more minutes to answer questions and I'll get off. Probably make the video for today. Today's video is just gonna be small price movement, the PR hire, hype up for the partnership video I'm gonna put out later this week about Giacomo, the AT&T in Japan. All of those are old news, by the way. Sort of like if you guys just want confirmation bias, that's about it. And sort of talking about the truth about the reality of the stock. As long as still wiggling under 150 moving average, there's not really an uptrend per se. And our job, as I said from the previous video, in the attention backholders video, our objective is to make it higher than $4 after, like, right on the day of next option expiration. And if it hits $6, it's even better. That means there's gonna be a small gamma squeeze. What do you think about George's tweets from today? Any opinion on the Samsung speculation? I don't think Samsung speculation is that accurate unless there are other confirmation coming in. I do think George is entering the Japanese market. In terms of how big the Japanese market, that's still a question mark. Gotta do some due diligence. And what do you think about George's tweet about the HR hire, or the what was the other tweet that he posted out? This one? First of all, 50 billion market for AR and VR glasses. Overly hawkish. Let's just put it that way. You have to because there's gonna be, so it's like the phone market, right? So every year there's gonna be like a new type of VR glasses, but in reality, what makes money is a software update. So for Meta, like I'm pretty sure like 10 billion is already sort of capped in terms of like hardware. And there are also other things you need to think about, especially for him, road to road production and everything. So in reality, like 10 billion is probably already enough. He probably will capture around, let's just say 50% of it. Let's just be conservative. So $5 billion. It will probably justify its valuation, but it's not going to be about 2 or 3 years in. And yeah. Could you give your opinion on Didi? Maybe. I mean, did we take down that video? We probably should take down that video. I don't want to get in trouble. It's the same thing with Uber. They're making more money than Uber. But if you're working against the current of politics, it's not really a good buying point right now. You may have answered, but just coming in. On Twitter, I see quiet period top. What is it? 40-day quiet period end. Let's just say I answered this question like over and over again, but I'll do it again. Personally, I don't think quiet period is a problem. But if you're really believing this quiet period thing, and you don't have time or just don't want to watch my 20 minutes video about the quiet period explaining why it could happen or it could just be a two-way NDA, the short answer is if you do believe there's a quiet period, then you're looking for when it ends is about August 9th, so on this day. If you're really believing a quiet period. But the talk about quiet period can be canceled out by their own compliance department and setting up a sort of like their own compliance regarding quiet period, what they can talk about, what they cannot. I mean, again, they don't have a PR team, so I guess they don't really know what they're doing at this point. Any questions? More questions? 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. After 6 more minutes, I'm just gonna log off and make the video for today. Yeah. It's not coincidence. The entire quiet period for public traded companies is for is for the earnings drop, because they don't want privileged investor to have more information before the general public. But if they just do open broadcasting, it doesn't really matter. Again, they probably need better lawyers. But I guess George has a really good personal lawyer. I don't know about the company itself. And there's no really coincidence. The purpose of the quiet period is literally for the earning call. Can't wait to see you on the outside. Yeah. Thank you. I'm already ready to invest in this thing for 6 years. Because in 6 years, it's probably going to be $30, probably more than that. At that point, it's be like, So when is the earnings? I think it's on the 10th. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'll make a video on that. Hail Caesar. There you go. There you go, Tony, my boy. Who allows hedge funds to short stocks? Because the 08 financial crisis, they started the shorting frenzy. George might start a hiring frenzy anytime now, hopefully. Yeah, he would. But the problem is, if he hires way more people than he should, the burn rate is going to be a problem. And you probably won't see any stock issuance until later Q4. So he really need to manage his money well. And I'm pretty sure his entire PhD management team, only one person, only the CFO. If you go back and look at conference calls, the CFO is actually super stressed because like every financial decision is upon him, and I don't think the entire PhD team have any good idea regarding what is the best way to spend their money. But again, hey, I'm not the CEO of the company, so I can't be the person who's in charge of really laying out who they should hire or who they should not hire. 1 month from now, I think we'll all be a little bit heavier. I mean, at this point, you have a dirt cheap stock. You have an economic environment that's so uncertain. So hopefully we're going to be happier. I think, unless Eddie comes out and says something really bullish. So if you guys are in Discord, if you haven't been in Discord, join the Discord. So there's one Discord member, is Eddie. He's pretty interesting. He's more like the mascot of the Discord, and he always make those overzealous arguments about stocks, and when the stock drops, he cries, and when the stock goes higher, he's sort of super happy. So we want to avoid that kind of emotions, guys. You want to be chill, okay? You don't think we will see 20 plus at all this year? Probably not. That link shows some bad news about the Torch guy, and George replied. Wait, which link? I mean, the entire setup of Torch is literally board of directors indirectly owns like 60% or something like that. That's why Greg is the ultimate winner if this stock goes up. And you have a hard sort of, not really support. You can say it's a support line. It's a hard $2.8 for Torch or for MMAT right now is the line where all Torch guys can accept. Because if it falls under $2.8, they literally don't make money. Do you think Meta has big media contracts to push big news when they're ready? Like what you see George on Kramer. You don't want George talk, guys. I sent George's conference call and presentation to my mentors. They're like, maybe he needs somewhere else to talk about the tech. So yeah. What's your portfolio percent for metamaterial? It's over 30 at this point, I think. That's why it's eating away my day trading possibilities, or more like my day trading stash. Couldn't make a lot of money from that, but yeah. Sad story, guys. Sad story. Should have done more people DD than actual company DD at this point for metamaterial. If a Meta Samsung partnership confirmed, like what will Samsung do? They're just gonna Meta is not even an OEM, so Samsung will have a partnership with the OEM that provides the phone to the Samsung phone, right? Are we talking about the Galaxy Fold thingy, the flop? then the actual partnership is not really going to be between Meta and Samsung. It's going to be Meta and whoever provides Samsung with material or the process of production. Or it could be just a Meta Samsung partnership. But Samsung invested in something also on metamaterial related. So you see, the water is pretty deep at this point. What do you think that's gonna do for the share price? As far as PR goes, with no PR George, probably not gonna do anything. Yeah. 2 more minutes, boys and girls. How many people are actually watching me stream? 20 people. Not bad. Yep, the roll to roll production, the earliest production data has come out is Q4. So yeah, that's very important. That's where you can capture all these licensees, these OEMs. Oh, thank you. I should be charging. Yeah, probably should start doing like the join a club, and you get to talk in chat or whatever. But I don't think we're big enough to do that. What do you think about AMC price action this week? I want to deviate from that. If you want to look at AMC stuff, dang it, that should be purely Patreon because 63%. I think over 70% of you don't want to see any AMC content. Is stocks full-time gig for you? No. I mean, it used to be. During pandemic, I made like 6 times the money. And probably like in late September 2020, I also made some money for paying rent, but that's about it. Should be full-time, but liquidities are tight, so it cannot be full-time anymore. That when the big guys come in after they got small run samples. So where's my pen? Damn, that's Valorant. So you know what POC is, right? So POC is what is called proof of concept. So the roll to roll is literally a proof of concept of production. And the semiconductor production process is pretty complicated and it's really precise. So I would imagine metamaterial is the same way. So this POC project literally need to prove to OEM that, you know, they can invest a sort of fixed amount of money that's not as much and they can produce more efficient than anybody else. And the unit cost of the roll to roll is going to be significantly lower than everybody else. So then OEMs will probably license. Thank you for the time you invest in this. Your efforts should be paid off. Thank you, thank you. When a big guy come in, they wouldn't like rush in and be like, hey, like I want this much of the money, or I want, say, they will come in and be like, oh, I will just slap down a license fee about 7 to 9%. They would probably want to aim for like 12%, but most people probably do a 9% depending on their sales. At this point, they will have contract coming in and roll to roll is successful. And depending on how much all these contracts worth, you will see a stock price increase over the next few months. Just got in the chat, so is Meta still for the short squeeze or should I just forget about it? Yes, Meta is still in for the short squeeze. Shorts haven't covered yet. You have 2 different type of shorts. And one short's money is literally locked due to the preferred dividend. But yeah, you will see the latest the squeeze is gonna happen is around Christmas, I think. Is around Christmas time, depending on when Torch is gonna close their sales. Go back to, well, you created Patreon. That's like a more a number 2 question, because number 2 think before we hit 5,000 subs, Patreon is worthless. So I back to differ. No, I back to disagree, because I think there are certain things I cannot. It's sort of bad for me to post it publicly. It's better to post it privately in Patreon. There are a lot of due diligence sessions that about the people and there are a lot of legal ramifications, and there are a lot of legal liabilities if you want to put it out here just in the public. And there are, because when I do DD, I do the bad part and I also do the good part, right? A lot of the good part I posted here, and a lot of bad parts I plan to post it there, just in case if you guys want to see both sides of the story. There's a semiconductor bill in Congress, and do you think Meta can benefit at all from it, even though it's a Canadian company? I think at this point, probably not because of NAFTA, but they can partner up with company that benefits from them, benefit from the semiconductor bill. But I don't think George. I don't know George's long-term plan yet. I sort of have a grasp of what George wants this company to be at in 6 years, but I think George is notorious at making PR and making clear what he really wants. And look at all his previous conferences. It seems like he needs to work on the way how he talks to investors. Well, that's good news. Thank you. Where you feel if it's a squeeze, I'll buy you some beer. Where are you at? California? Maybe we can have a, after the squeeze, maybe we should have a small get together and grab some beer. What's Meta's short squeeze price potential? $14. Your info and knowledge is worth the money. Thank you. Tony, did you make money on my AMC or some tips? I think you're one of those people who said you made money and you wanna learn about day trading, right? Sneaky boy. Oh snap, the live is heating up. 50% increase in viewers since you checked. Oh, thank you. That's great. I do not expect them to get the government grant. Yeah, it's government grant, probably not. They might get some. They might get some tech support, but let's see if they have potential. See, George hired someone from Google, so I don't really know how this person's relationship with Google in terms of long term, because basically Google bought Darren's company, right? So if Darren actually made a network of people in Google, you can see a potential partnership with Google. But I think Google secretly also have a metamaterial sort of production R&D, let's just say division. So I don't know how this thing is going to work out. But if they can strike a partnership with Google, it's big payday. What do you think the relationship is between Innova Corp and Meta? Innova Corp is like half VC, half angel, and they own like, I think 12% of Meta. And they're probably in there for long because they are in Tesla, like super early. If this thing squeezes, I will fly you out to New York and get you laid. Let's go, dude! Many secret, interesting companies located along the area of One Research. Yes, because before Trump revised the NAFTA, there's a lot of in the University of Waterloo. I don't know any of you are actually from Canada or from the Beaver Country. The Beaver Country is really advancing semiconductor research and in chip research and in a lot of these advanced hardware research. Okay, that's why the facility is set up there. And I think due to the tax codes, I'm not really sure. Because R&D is significantly cheaper there, and there are talents there that people want. Let's get him hit late in Cali. Them girls are better looking. That's funny. Oh. What time is it? Maybe I'll extend it to 45 because I really just want to make the video and be done with it and wake up early tomorrow morning. I didn't get in any place yet, although I did want to get into EDU. Unfortunately, didn't have liquidity. Yeah, that's pretty brutal though. Hey, let's go! I think 10% of our viewership is from the Beaver Country. I love beavers. EDU. Yeah, you see, if you just make them shorts in place, it's like 20 cents, and also dirt cheap. So you bought in like $5,000 worth of it, you probably make hundreds of dollars right now. But it is what it is. There's so much cheap plays that you can do at this point, but yeah, liquidity is really the problem. Even EDU people do a bunch of press releases, even their headquarters in China. and people report about it, and you see, and what Kramer doesn't understand is all these Chinese stocks have a lot of like Asian American investors in it. So it's not really stripping away US dollars, it's stripping the internal funding within the Asian community. Beaver Life, let's go. I do expect Meta to get R&D US dollar contract within the next year. I mean, if you're just talking about government funding, probably not. They will probably get funding from Lockheed though. There's gonna be like further contracts, but George is too like spread out. George needs to focus, and George doesn't want to listen to us. We need Eddie here, to be honest. Nah. If we have Eddie here, his entire chat's gonna be blown up. Eddie's gonna be, oh my god, this thing is going up. Oh my god, this thing's going up. Thank you for your content. I was actually were at Ventura the other day. When they flew me out to LA and everything. Pretty interesting place. I think 60% of viewership is California based. Well, let's check how many people are there in chat. 31. There you go. In the morning, I think we almost hit like 90 at one point, but it stabilized at 58. Very good question. Do you think one of their main products will be semiconductors? And if so, will big companies be interested in having them provide those parts? The big company will have the OEMs provide them those parts. Meta will be like the licensor of the technology to give the OEM the ability to produce these semiconductors. I think this is what George plays here, because George doesn't want to invest a lot of fixed costs into the production cycle, and he cannot afford that. Actually, Meta is more like a startup with a bunch of R&D, doesn't have any focus, got a bunch of nerds, and the CEO is like sweating balls every single day, because if the stock price keep going down like this, they can't issue more shares, and if they cannot issue more shares, they only have 2 ways of getting funding, and George doesn't want to give up ownership. So in terms of George, he really wants this. We can calculate the burn rate. Actually, I will post a video about this. So let's just say the burn rate is about 3 years. In the 1.5 year mark, George want to do a funding run from the public, so he can sort of further fund his business, because they're not really making as much revenue as we want them to be, even though the company has been on Earth for 10 years. How many rocket emoji does it take to make a stock go to the moon? I don't know, dude. You tell me. From Orange County. Yeah, let's go Orange County. Doesn't Orange County have a lot of hot chicks there? Do you think it will dip a bit lower in tomorrow prior to the Powell FUD? It's hard to say, because majority market has already got some load up on VIX. So when majority of the market load up on VIX and are already sort of sell off their position, on a Powell Wednesday, you see a lot of uncertainty. There might even be an update tomorrow. You never know. Depending on also there are bond yield problems right now, because the Fed just did a bunch of reverse repo. That means people are panicking internally, and the bond, let's just say the money market is very they're very hasty in terms of getting more bonds, T-bills. Powell goes to give good news. Rumor flying about companies dumping China stocks and bonds, and China yuan is lowest it's been in 10 years. Well, let's just say the politics in China is a little bit complicated. Maybe I should make a video about it in Patreon, and all the things you see on the internet, they are not set in stone laws. They are more like a bill, but in China it's called like a directive per se. And the entire crackdown of tech is about locking in capital within a state. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated that I don't really want to get into this on stream. What did you major in college? I got 2 BS degrees in 3.5 years. So I graduated early in college. I have 1 major in evolutionary anthropology. So that's Bachelor of Science. And I have another Bachelor of Science in accounting and information systems. Was gonna do finance, but finance classes are not as informative as I want them to be. So I learned a lot of things during the time where I did my startup time. I have DD. Is it time to cut my losses? What's your losses? Like, what's your trading style? Just joining in, so please forgive me if I already asked. Will consider covering Chinese CDU stocks in the future? You have a unique person. Yes, I probably will do that. And also you guys need to join Discord and start tagging number 2, because number 2 is a view whore right now. He says if anything have lower than 500 views, he's not he's gonna take down the video. Do we know of any great PR specialist to recommend to George of the jungle? Not really sure. George has his own way of doing PR, I guess, but no. We were trying to link up with George and give him a PR plan. We actually have a PR plan set out. We even have a go-to-market sort of focus plan. But I think George thinks we're too young, or he majority just focus on people in Canada, but I'm not really sure. We do have a plan, a short-term and long-term plan for George. And by just looking at his financial statement, we understand his pain. What is Number Deuce's name on Discord? Good question, actually. I actually don't even know. He sometimes just log on to the official account and troll a little bit. But I'll let you guys know. You guys should start tagging him. No, I don't think Dude Zero is George, though. He pretends. It would be so funny if George is in the Discord all along. It would be so funny. Alright, I'll do it until 4, I guess, guys. All these new questions popping up. Quick, ask questions. You guys have 15 minutes. Oh. Damn. Kramer thinks all of this is paying for the American investors. No, if you look at who's actually holding it and who have majority ownership and everything, a lot of Chinese money getting locked here too. I mean, shorts are happy. Oh, it's way more political than you guys think at this point. How's work going? It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be a little bit more busy in the middle of August, but right now I'm chilling. If Meta squeeze, how do you think it can reach? $14 at least. Really depending on how much dividend worth. My average price is 4.3, 4.5. Should I sell at 5 so I can reposition at a lower price? Thank you, Tony. Love you too, Tony. My average price is 4.5. Should I sell at 5? See, I don't give selling advices, but you really need to look at what the support line is when it reaches $5. And honestly, if you have over 1,000 shares, you can play around with options. What's the biggest secret about the stock market that the common Joe wouldn't pick up? There is an intrinsic conflict of interest between the brokerage firm and the retail investors. The more you fail, the more money brokerage firm makes, and the more money hedge fund makes. That sounds very intuitive, but not really. When do you think the dividend amount will be announced? How do we now know they have sold their assets? They're gonna have a press release, and it's gonna be under 8K if they sold their asset. How early it's gonna be? Who knows? I trust John. I trust Greg more than John, and I trust George more than I trust George and Greg equally, because I think they're both smart. but they're old. When do you think the dividend? Yeah, okay, yeah, I've already answered that question. So not really directly answer it, but it's just like, it is what it is. The latest on the merger agreements is around December. But if they didn't close out the deal, if they decide to do a spin-off, it's pretty bad. I see the photo and of this material is being overlooked. The photo end, skyscraper with see-through solar panel onto the window, tin windows, and always clean of debris. Yeah, because George have no idea how to do their PR. Like I was literally gonna post a video just bashing on his like website and how bad it is, and number two is like, stop. Like literally, we don't want to piss George off. So I was like, okay. Have you seen Metamaterial Telegram post about Solar Impulse? Telegram? They have a Telegram account. Well, link that in Discord or something. Doing any suggestions or doing in MetaDD. It's probably the old stuff. They do have a solar segment that's actually making money right now, but George really needs to work on his tweets. What other stock do you like besides metamaterials? Do I like metamaterial? Like is a strong word. Okay, like is a strong word. Do I like? I don't have any stock that I really like. Anything that makes you money makes you like it. The same thing as everybody's saying that looks doesn't matter, but it does. It's like when you see a hot chick on the street, do you really like her, or do you really just like the way how she behaves around you, right? Other stocks, I really like AT&T. I know you guys don't think it's a good stock, but my goal this year, like when sort of break even or using option plays to sort of get back to my original entire total asset portfolio, I'm gonna try to buy enough AT&T to cover my phone bill, my internet bill, and other things just by the dividend, because I think it's a really good deal. If retail traders was more in unison with short squeeze opportunities, don't you think we will be unstoppable in them short squeezing situations? Good question. But who's gonna be leading the herd though? Everybody have their own agenda. That's the hard part. That's why I told number two, I was like, if we get big enough, we're gonna start an ETF fund. We call this Sugar Mama, or the Sugar Daddy Beaver Corn ETF fund. And then we're gonna start a hedge fund, and we have very good term sheets, and you guys can invest money in it. But that's like, I don't know, 10 years in the making, maybe 8 years, 6 years, who knows at this point. It's really hard to control retail sentiments because people get scared the easiest. They panic sell the easiest, the fastest, and they panic sell and they panic buy. And most of the herd leaders or most of the leaders are not training finance, so it's really hard. It's really hard to look. Yeah, but those people are all passionate people. Maybe later in the years their positions get washed, but best of best of luck to them from me. Because if you look at them around $60 right now, AMCS is around like 30, 37-ish. Half of the profit is already vanished. But hey, not AMC streamer, so not my business now. Let's see, 7 more minutes. Type it up, boys. Type it up. Let's wrap it up here. 33 people. Oh, we don't have enough people watching me stream. Oh, I'm so bad. I just want more attention. What are your pastime activities? What do you mean pastime activities? Like activities to pastime? I used to be a big gamer, but I sort of quit that part of my life. When I'm stressed, I will still play some games. I like to cook a lot. I read a lot, and right now, in a few days, probably gonna start my next workout routine. sort of every single morning after morning stream when it's sort of like mid-market hours, gonna go work out and stuff. What's your drug of choice? Interesting question. I can't really take any drugs because I'm allergic to marijuana. So yeah, you know my pain there. Sports. Sports. I love skiing. If you consider skiing a sport, I used to be pretty big in swimming in high school. Also, I'm pretty fast too. I like extreme sports. I used to do ice climbing too. How old are you? Hey guys, it's rude to ask a lady their age. Oh wait, I'm not a woman. I'm about 25 years old. Do you play any instruments? I play 4 musical instruments. In your opinion, who has the best dividend payout for the share price? Are we counting for risks? Or just like playing out of my head? What are some good dividend stocks? Dividend stocks, you can also play jumping. Like you can play dividend skipping. It's also an investing strategy. Probably like on Patreon, I'm probably gonna post a video about it. You can do dividend skipping. Like you can buy like X dividend and sort of like utilize the option to secure. After you secure the dividend payment, there's always going to be a drop down, right? You can use the option to like sort of leverage that, and then you get out and you hop onto the next dividend stock. I played saxophone for about 8 years, played piano for about 5 years. Now I suck now. In high school, I also did music theory. And I also play a Chinese instrument called guqing. And also, like, I play here and there, like, a little bit of flute, a little bit of other things. So, yeah. My singing voice isn't that great anymore. When I was young, I used to be a chamber singer. Do you play any Warzone, Rust, or PUBG? I used to play Ark. I was gonna get Rust. But isn't it weird we just started like a DD stock channel playing Rust? That would be so funny. But maybe if after we made some money on MMAT, sort of get rid of the red, being an even, maybe we should play Rust together. Who knows? Good bonding experiences, exercises or whatever. I have a feeling in the next around 3 years, by following this channel, maybe one of you who owns a lot of shares of Meta might be a millionaire. I think that's just a hypothesis. I don't know if any of you holds a lot of shares, because on Reddit there's someone holds like 200,000 shares of Meta. Yeah, dude, let's do it. I think a lot of young money are here on my channel. I think Sterling's channel have more diversity maybe, but I don't know. I don't have access to his data. Become a streamer, stock streamer, not really like a gamer streamer. Let me close my blinds. Stocks is way more fun than playing games for me in this stage of my life, I think. And there's way too many things to learn. I am old enough to be a father. Be my sugar daddy. Yeah. I think a lot of you are old enough to be my father, according to our analytics. And those of you who are old enough to be our fathers, you guys are our loyal subs, and who's gonna watch the longer videos. Because in those videos, I break down a lot of very detailed stuff. But most of the 25 to 30-year-olds, we tend to like overlook details and be impatient and have lower attention span. What do I think the next 10-year potential for Meta, both high and low? What's up, Jeremy? What do you think, or do I think 10-year potential? They should be making money at year 4 and 6, and at year 10 they have to pivot. That's what I think. Not really pivot. Like more mature revenue coming in, they're probably gonna enter other space. All right. You met me. If you just invest 1,000 share right now and just throw it out there and wait for 10 years, you're bound to make money anyways. So yeah. Because 5G has a rollout time, and the media overhyped the mass, overhyped the retails. It's like, oh my god, 5G is here. No, you're still in transition with 4G LTE even to real 4G. We don't even have real 4G yet. And antenna rollout is like a 2-year, maybe 4-year, even 6-year process with all the hardwares in place, with like all the Cisco rollouts and everything. I'll make a video about it. Last weekend was too busy. Are we disclosing are we on our first name basis yet? No, not yet. I think we're gonna do a reveal later on when we have. I think that's number 2's thing. Number 2 is like, we're gonna do a big review at 5K sub and 10K sub, and then you will know our names. Or maybe you should just call us dudes. What's your prediction on meta for tomorrow? I wouldn't be surprised if we are another red day. Actually, be positive. Be positive, because when people are expecting a market drop, that literally means the drop is not going to be as bad. Or if you use a reverse logic, that would mean the drop is going to be worse than before. But it really depends on what Jay Brody Money Pal say tomorrow. That I cannot really tell you right now. I think I made a weekly prediction for Meta this week, or did I? Last weekend was way too busy. But at this point, it doesn't matter what my prediction is. I look familiar. Oh my god, it's my long lost brother. At this point, like, prediction doesn't matter. It only will give you comfort. But at this point, it doesn't matter unless it goes up higher than the 150 moving average. Really. When are you gonna release the Dude's Greatest Hits? I don't know. A lot of people actually hate my thing. I don't know why. I love it. I love it. I love it, guys. I love it. Correct, the 5G equipment will be far more expensive than 4G, was due to the narrowing band width and requiring lines of sight transition. Yeah, the creation of 5G, I cannot call it a scam, but they haven't really think it through, per se. That's why the transparent antenna is not really a transparent antenna. It's basically a reflective shell. That's what George is providing is really important. And it's still early. 5G is still early, guys. 5G is actually still early. Mr. Robot. Yeah, I'm actually not real. I'm just a figment of your imagination. Who the heck's William Huang? I know Bill Huang. Bill is a meme. Robot. Yep, I'm just an AI actually. At this point, Meta is all about volume right now. Enough volume. This entire area is butter area. All the way until like 4.5, it's butter. I just knife through butter. We just don't have enough volume. CES in January? Maybe. I'll think about it. It's like reflecting the signal. It's like capturing a signal in a I will make a demo about how it works. But really, if you really want to see a significant revenue in the 5G sector for Meta, it's not going to be this year. Not really. I made the same mistake as you and trapped on liquidity in Meta needs to get some back. Hopefully we'll get there sooner than later. Hey, fingers crossed. But at this point, just be patient. Just be patient. Worst case scenario, wait 6 years and get out, I guess. But yeah. Alright, I think this is it for the stream. If you guys have more questions, I don't know if I'm gonna post this live session. I think I'm gonna do some edits on it. Hey, thank you for listening to me. And yeah, there's gonna be pre-market stream tomorrow, all the way extending to power hours. Hopefully we don't get Eddie on a stream, because when Eddie is there, we release the monster. We got locked him in the closet. And yeah, I think this is it for today's stream. I will go make a video for today. And you're welcome. See you guys on the upside, guys.